This video is brought to you by Dream Garage Auctions, a fast-growing auction website that is run by a team of enthusiastic petrol heads. Dream Garage Auctions has a number of cars that are live right now and ending very, very soon. The starting bids tend to start pretty low, and some of the cars are offered without reserve. You can see on the site here, we've just had an Audi R8 V10 Spider finish, and we've had all these iconic cars finishing recently. And if you click on the info button on any of these listings, you'll also see what they were sold for. On the active listings as well, you've got a full walk around of the car, you've got all the history, and you get even a video of the car for each one as well. Comprehensively detailed, and every single thing you'd want to know about the car is on there too. You can also ask the seller questions on the live listings, and you can, as I say, go back and see on the old listings what they all sold for. So get in the mix and grab yourself a bargain, and do keep me posted with what you end up with. Hello and welcome back to TGTV, and more specifically, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a car park once again. Now I have a new car on the channel, and I also have two guests, one of which you will have seen in the preceding B-roll, and the other of which you will have seen in the thumbnail and probably in the title. I've probably dragged you all in with that. However, for now, we're going to talk about the car that is behind me. So I've got the facelift Audi R8 behind me, but it is no ordinary Audi R8. It is an R8 with a slight difference, and a fairly rare car at the moment anyway. We have in front of us then the brand new Audi R8 rear wheel drive. Now this car was a little bit controversial. Audi actually released this car in the previous generation with a limited run called the RWS. It is now called the RWD for rear wheel drive, as opposed to rear wheel series. The previous version, the rear wheel series, was a limited series. As the name suggests, it was limited to 999 units. This now though is a full production car. Audi now has this as a permanent member of its lineup. It is seen as the younger brother and the kind of lesser version of the standard R8 V10 Plus and the Quattro version, driving all four wheels. However, I'm not so sure this is actually the lesser version to own and to drive. So we're going to get in it, we're going to go for a little drive, we're going to go and get a coffee actually, because it's absolutely peeing it down in London. That's why we're in this lovely car park that I know you all love so much. So we're going to go and get a coffee, and I'm going to tell you what it's like to live with. I'm going to give you my thoughts over the past week or so, having lived with this car. But just a heads up, it's good. I'm very, very pleased with this car, and I'm actually very, very tempted into at some point owning one of these. I know I often say that, usually it's clickbait, but I actually do genuinely want one of these. I've absolutely loved having this car, and I'm going to go into, oh, bloody hell, what is going on? And I'm going to go into exactly why I've enjoyed it so much. So we're going to hop in. I'm also going to go and find my girlfriend, who is strolling around over there, wondering what on earth she's doing with her life, and what on earth she's doing with someone like me, that this is what I do for a living. She's really considering her decisions here and her life choices. Chris is also there, of course, as well, and he's been particularly smelly today, so we might have some smelly gaffs in the car as well. Alright, that's my intro done, I think, so time to roll. Oh, he's weeing. Good boy. Whilst I wait for them then to faff around, we're going to jump in, get her fired up. We are going to review this sensibly though, I promise. Because this actually is an interesting car, and considering Audi have been banging on about Quattro all their lives, it's quite a controversial car for them to be making, so let's fire up. Here we go then, out on the roads. Welcome back to the channel, hello. Hello. Excited to be back on YouTube?
That's it.
Did you enjoy the comments you got last time? Did you read them?
I did read a few of them.
Good. How were they?
I thought they were okay. You probably deleted the horrible ones.
Nah, I never do that.
Well, I don't mind.
Some of the abusive ones are actually me. No, they won't. That would be a lol. Okay, good. So we're going to review this car sensibly. Well, I am. I'm going to fire some questions at you.
Yep.
fire some questions at the boy as well.
If you were to ask me what my favourite car was, this
I
would be
know. I was going to get onto that.
it.
So
Had to get that in there.
we've got to preface this, and we've said this before on the channel, and it's not gone down well before. You don't actually really care about cars on the whole.
No.
You're not really that bothered.
Maybe I do, and I'm actually just bluffing you. And I'm going to thieve them all in the dead of the night.
There's got to be a reason you're with me.
It's your hoodies, not your cars.
It sure has. Not my personality. Right.
No.
So,
Yeah.
your favourite car, you've actually said, and I remember this from when I first started speaking to you.
Yes.
An example of
That's
some of
how
my
I-
amazing chat. What's your favourite car? Audi R8.
Hello,
That's what you said.
nice to meet you. I like Audi R8s.
But that was one of the first things I knew. That's the only thing you really volunteered about the car world
I
to me.
have
The
to
fact that you
tell
like
you,
Audi
because
R8s.
that's one of the only sports cars that I know the name of, but like the look of. I think they're very nice. They're nice cars, aren't they? And I know the name of them, so.
That is a good combination. You like them and you know the name of them. Good. I actually want to touch on that though. There's a valid point in there somewhere. I feel, and I'm sure you'll vouch for this as well, and we were discussing this earlier, when you drive around in it, I don't feel like a Wally, which
No.
is often what you do feel like if you're driving around in like Ferraris, Lamborghinis and the rest of it. I don't feel that much of a, and I'll blur that out, so it's fine. You can swear by the way, and I can just bleep that out.
found driving around in the Pista.
Yeah, God rest its soul.
Quite
Or maybe not, I don't know if I've told anyone yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know, it was ages ago, but that's just what happens.
Oh.
It's always
I found
delayed.
that quite mortifying.
Yeah, and you didn't make any secret of it. So when we were driving around in the Pista, I was told under no certain terms that you were mortified to be in it, and the whole thing was a bit of an embarrassment. It was a bit of a show though, wasn't it? And sometimes that's good, but sometimes, most of the time in fact, you actually just don't really want that. You kind of want to just not be hated by passers-by, and most people did hate in the Pista. The Lamborghini was even worse. Do you remember that one?
I do. You drove it down my family road.
Ah yes, down a cul-de-sac with a nice three-point turn at the end of it.
Yeah. You said to me, does your road have any width restrictions before you drove down it? I was like,
You have
no.
to check.
No, I don't know anything wrong with my road.
Another example of
Turns
my
out it
amazing
was
chat.
very narrow.
How did we end up here with that opening?
Also, it was early doors, so you couldn't even pull a strop. That must have been killing you.
Yeah.
You couldn't throw a tantrum. You had to keep it together. You're
Yeah.
like biting your tongue.
I would have been fuming, but just like screaming on the
Yeah.
inside. Okay, so we've established you like the Audi R8. We've established that passers-by like the Audi R8. I like the Audi R8 as well, and particularly this one. So I'm just going to do some boring numbers first. It's 533 brake horsepower. It's 29 brake horsepower down on the Quattro V10 variant, and about, it must be 60 odd brake horsepower down on the V10 Plus variant. So this is actually technically the bottom of the range, the cheapest one they do.
Huh. How much does it cost?
It is £115,000.
So a steal then.
Steaming up in here. Yeah, it's 115,000, and the top of the range one's about 130, 140 odd grand. So it's kind of, it sounds a lot of money, but really for what you can get for that, brand new, it is actually very, very good value. You can't even get Porsche GT3 for 115 grand brand new. It's a lot of car for the money. I know it's an insane amount of cash, but it is a lot of car for the money. And to be honest with you, around that budget, used, you can pick up a McLaren 570S, a used GT3, or a brand new one of these. This is making a very, very strong case for itself. Not only that, but I think this is actually a case of less is more. And I know Audi probably won't want to push this that much because they have been banging the Quattro drum all their lives and saying, you know, four-wheel drive is better. But this car actually benefits from a number of different things that the Quattro version doesn't actually benefit from. So, for example, because it's rear-wheel drive, the rear weight bias is actually more towards the back, so it's 60% weight bias towards the back, which is something which the Quattro version does not have. Also, with no front drive shaft, the front end is a lot lighter, so going over speed bumps and kind of just general town driving is a lot more pleasurable. You've got less weight over the front end, it's less likely to scrape, or certainly it feels like that anyway, and just driving around generally, you can kind of feel that weight difference. Weight is about 1,600 kilos, which again is a little bit lighter than the Quattro variant. And suspension wise, I think the rear wheel drive feels a little bit softer than the Quattro variant as well. Are you still alive and listening? Or
Yeah, no.
You don't need to listen, that's the joy of it. You just...
I agree with all of what you just said. I hear blip, 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 blip. Audi R8, blip, 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 horsepower.
You're
blip,
taking
blip,
in just as much as he is.
blip. Yeah,
Do you think Chris was a fan of it?
yeah.
Are you a fan of the R8, mate?
Little coupling. He's got so much bigger since your last video.
He has, yeah.
Big roll.
He's a big boy, but still no more energetic.
So where are we going?
We are going to get a coffee. I gather buying coffees and supercars is now a thing for videos, so that's what I'm going to do. Very short and creative ideas there. To be honest with you, it's a rainy afternoon in London. I've been chained to my desk most of the day. I've got this car for a very, very limited time. Probably should have touched on why I even have this thing in the first place. This is an Audi press car. Audi UK have very kindly lent it to me for a few days. And I've just been chained up inside working. So I'm taking it out. I'm using it as though most supercars realistically actually are, which is just kind of driving around, general use. And I think that often is one of the best markers of how a car actually is and how it is to own. So interior then, let's just do some boring stuff. Interior is very good. It's not been updated in this facelift version. It's still pretty much exactly the same. However, you do now get a central screen in front of you that marries up with your smartphone, whether it's Android, whether it's Apple, if you want CarPlay. It's all on this amazing screen right in front of you. Some of the switchgear in here is from lesser Audis, older Audis, but that actually doesn't matter at all because Audi's interiors have been bang on for about a decade anyway, so there's no gripes whatsoever with this interior. Do you like it in here?
Yeah, very comfy.
It is good, isn't it?
Very comfy.
Do you like all the buttons and things? Do you like how everything's laid out?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
It's good on the untrained eye. This folds open the other way.
Yeah, I think they might all do that. I don't know about that.
No, it's not. Usually it's like this way.
Actually, you would.
And this
Yeah,
is
you
this
know.
way. It's different.
And how's the mirror in there? Is there a light? Do you get a light with it?
It's not very large. However, it's a very clear mirror. Wait, have a look. Get out the other way. There's no light. Sorry.
It's alright. Don't worry, mate. Oh, he stinks.
He's very smiley.
Oh my god. Emergency. Oh my god. That is hell. How are you dealing with that?
Just kind of used to it now. Just embrace it. I think I probably actually smell the Frenchy farts. I think people that first meet me must be like, showered?
Christ. Right, I think I'm probably going to get some fuel and then we'll just carry on. Just filled her up quickly with fuel then. I wanted to touch on how you would know this is a rear wheel drive version, not the normal version, not the V10, not the V10 Plus. So you get 19s as standard. The side blade there tends not to be in carbon or any kind of finish whatsoever. And most importantly, you do not get the big fixed wing on the back instead. Instead, sorry about that, camera cut out. This wing here also pops up and down like that. Other than that, you probably wouldn't know, other than the fact it is bereft of carbon. You don't get any carbon on the exterior. I believe you can spec those up, but on the standard rear wheel drive, you don't get any of that. And I think it's got quite a classy kind of silhouette. She's probably fuming in there by now. Chris is just wondering what's going on. But it's very, very nice. Again, you don't have any of the carbon around the front, but I don't really think it needs it. For 115k, that is a hell of a lot of car. Also, one thing I love about this car, you get that massive V10 in the back there, fully visible through the rear deck. And if you want to spec glass on a Lamborghini like that, it costs you about 5 or 6 grand. On the R8, it just comes as standard. You don't get silly plastic over there with vents like on the Lamborghini. Anyway, we're going to jump back in. We're going to carry on chatting because there's lots more to get through with this car. Pit stop complete then. Leads me on to another interesting point. Fuel economy, a very boring point, not one that many people really care about when they're buying something like this, but it's actually been very good on kind of A roads and B roads without sitting in traffic in this. It's been about 20 something miles to the gallon, which for a big V10 is pretty good, I think. We're going over a big bump there, no scrape on the front. This car doesn't have lift, nor does it really need it. The front end's very, very short. It is quite raised up, and as I said before, it's quite light as well, so I haven't had any scraping on this at all in London anywhere over any speed bumps, which is a good thing. There's nothing worse than scraping the front of your car. I'm wondering how much it was going to cost you.
Coffee.
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 Yes. Yes, I need a coffee.
I got the Pret unlimited copies. Unlimited coffees for £20 a month.
Good.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, I might contact them and see if they'll pay you to say that in the video.
Oh, that would be fabulous.
We'll send them an invoice, see if they pay it.
More money for coffees.
That's the way to do it. Well, you don't need no more money, do you? Because it's £20 a month, unlimited.
True. They can pay me £20 a month. Just
Profit.
give it to me for free. Well, last time we did a car video,
Yes,
I was sitting there. You were here.
it's very true. So if you're new to the channel and you're wondering what's going on, last time we did a car video, we were in my Carrera GT with the pit. You're gonna have to bleep that, but she said something derogatory about the Carrera GT. So you hate the Carrera GT, you hate the Pista. Do you like the F12?
The grey one?
Yes.
Yes.
You like that one? Good.
Very
that gets
comfy, and I like the colour of the seats.
comfy and colour of the seats. Good. This is comfy though.
Yeah, really comfy.
The seats in here are good as well. They're good old boys. You don't like slide around in them, but you can't spec silly bucket seats in here with harnesses or anything like that. It is a comfy car. Comfort is quite high up my list now as well.
Yeah.
I think I must be getting old or just bored of cars.
Drive like quite long distances. The royal we. You drive, and I look out the window.
Or I'm in the car for a lot of time. Like now, for example, we've covered about a mile from where I grabbed this car from to get coffee, and it's taken us about 20 minutes. It's terrible.
We live miles from any coffee shops.
We certainly do, yes, and we're not often in this part of town, so we thought we'd go for a little wander around here to collect this
What a treat.
collect this car. I know,
What a
treat.
beautiful day it is.
Makes a change from East London or Notting Hill, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Notting Hill has no coffee shops. Bereft of coffee shops.
No, because this car, doesn't matter what the arrangements were, but that's, we're around here now, that's the main thing.
We just like Chelsea coffee, don't we?
Yeah, Pret and Chelsea.
Something about that Pret and Chelsea. It's different to all other Prets.
Artisan.
What's your coffee order?
Black Americano, you?
Oat milk latte.
Milk latte. Good.
This is a thrilling video, isn't it?
Honestly, it's as bad as the rest. You don't watch them, do you?
No.
No.
I've watched a few.
They're all around this standard.
If I hear I mentioned in them, then I'll give it a little, I'll like swipe along to when I work out where I am mentioned. Look at this.
What's that?
Smeg.
So a public service announcement. If you're thinking of getting a dog, and nobody warned us of this, male dogs, you'll be left with spots of residue. Just a little gift from them wherever they go.
Who said it was from the dog?
And female dogs, you have,
Blood.
I was going to say other unpleasant issues, but yeah. No one warns you of this when you go to get a dog. They're like, yeah, just get a dog. They're quite a bit of work, a lot of responsibility. They're a commitment. Don't give them to Battersea. But no one tells you about Smeg.
Before we got him neutered, if he was sitting on a blanket for like a couple of days, you could literally like snap the blanket.
It is honestly disgusting, but it's still happening, and I don't understand how it's still happening because he's had his balls snipped.
Oh, he's defied science.
He has defied science, and he's still leaving. So you've got Smeg on your.
I have Smeg on my new leggings.
Smeg on your leg.
Smeggy leg.
Good.
Gorgeous.
And he's now asleep on the floor.
Audi are going to be thrilled with this video.
Do you know what? I know there's loads of car videos out there of people showing it, they understeer, oversteer, watching them power slide, but realistically this is how most of these cars are used. And if a car can't do this kind of thing well, and it isn't palatable to live with, that car isn't really a good car on the whole.
Yeah.
And most guys out there, and predominantly guys buy these cars, I know you're going to have a go at me for being sexist, it's more of a male thing. And if guys out there with their girlfriends, again generalising, I'm aware that some people have partners that aren't women, but if you have a car that your other half is on board with, that female other half, or other half in general, I'm really trying not to get in trouble here.
You're fine.
It's a good, no, but yeah, it's the internet, you've got to be really careful. So, my point being, is it palatable for everyone? And it's a good car. There was a point in there, but I got wrapped up in trying to be politically correct.
I think everyone would love this car.
It's good. And if we end up getting you a supercar at some point, then we'll get you one of these.
I don't trust myself driving something that's
I don't trust you either. So that actually reminds me of another point. This being rear-wheel drive, you'd expect it to be very sketchy and kind of a bit skittish and a little bit dangerous. Yes, you can get it to slide around, and not that I've been doing any of that in second and third gear particularly. However, it does feel still very planted, but it does feel a little bit more lively and enjoyable than the Quattro version. So basically what I'm talking about.
Oh, he's done it again.
Oh, God. Help!
Oh my God.
People do warn you about that though, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that is actually horrendous.
It has been really bad recently.
That is one of the worst. I'm going to get the door open. That is horrendous.
Oh my God. Vicky, what's going on? What's going on? Why are you so stinky? Why are you so stinky?
For those of you to get an idea of what this is like, imagine like a really bad nightclub toilet
On your face.
on your face, but the nightclub toilet has just been left in its kind of worst state for about a week, and that's what it smells like in here at the moment.
Yeah. Ooh.
How's he doing that? He's only small.
I know, that was a silent but deadly one as well.
Christ alive.
He was doing it on the train. That's how bad they were. You know, I said I was on the train earlier.
It's an Aaron.
In case you didn't come pick me up.
Yep.
That's how bad they were on the train, and people were sitting near me.
That actually makes me quite happy though, the fact
Well,
he's
what do you
ruining
do?
other people's
I was
day.
just sitting there like, you can't. I don't know.
Do you nod at people and say,
No,
It's the dog.
I just don't even want to.
because then you look guilty.
I don't want to even like address it. I just want to sit there and just stare forward.
And you look guilty as well.
Pretend it's not happening.
But like waft it and go, oh, crisps. But then you look guilty as well. There's no way of doing
But also,
it.
I don't want people to. I want to. You know, it could be someone else on the train. There was lots of people around us. Might not be crisps.
Yeah, you don't want to blame him unnecessarily. Not fair
I
on
just
him.
start looking at other people like, oh, it's disgusting. Maybe it's actually you.
It's definitely not me.
Doesn't do it when you're not around.
Call an ambulance if that was me. Honestly, there's something seriously wrong with me.
I actually took him to that nail shop there when he was a little puppy. Do you remember how smelly he was as a little puppy?
Yeah.
And I was getting my nails done. He was on my lap, and the woman, she was obviously wearing a mask, but I could just see her face was like, this is horrendous. She's having to do my nails. And what can you do? I didn't want to admit to her. I just sat there like, I'm never doing this again. Smelly bean!
Yeah, I think Audi will be happy with this. I don't see why they wouldn't be.
Smeg, farts,
All the important stuff
coffee.
covered. But I think there's also a misconception as well, and that reminds me of another thing to say. People think when you get a press car like this, you're paid to be nice about them. I've not been paid to be nice about this. They literally just drop the car off, and then you say whatever you want. I don't tend to do Audi trips. They don't tend to do kind of flashy ones abroad and all the rest of it. So there really isn't any incentive for me to be unnecessarily nice about this car. I do genuinely think it's very good. I like it a lot, and I think I would have this over the normal Quattro version. That doesn't mean
What's a
anything to-
Quattro?
Quattro is, so you've got, this is rear wheel drive, so the engine there drives the back wheels only.
Okay.
So when you put your foot down, the back wheels are trying to get grip and the front wheels aren't attached to the motor.
Yeah,
they
they're
just
just
go
going with it,
go along with the ride. But Quattro, meaning like four, means all four wheels are attached to the engine. So all four wheels grip. But Audi have got a really clever system where if one wheel's losing grip, then it'll kind of give it less torque or something, and it just basically means that you're always in a straight line. Even if it's wet or anything like that, you'll always get grip. Whichever wheel's gripping the most, it'll know
Okay.
at any given time. So effectively what that means for this car, it means there's less grip when you put your foot down. You're more likely to have an accident,
Right.
which probably sounds moronic to you, and you probably think, why would you get a rear-wheel drive version
Yeah.
over the normal version? But if you're an idiot and you like cars, for some reason there's something inbuilt that you just enjoy that more.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense.
The thrill of maybe crashing and dying.
Kind of, yeah, but then people do these like kind of things where they like go around corners sliding, and it looks like you're having an accident, but you're not. And it's very cool. And there's a very
Wow.
thin line between having an accident and just coming out looking like a hero. And you can only do that in a car like this. You can't really do it with a Quattro car. In fact, so much so, I enjoy the two-wheel drive thing. I actually had a Huracan, and I'm talking to the guys at home, this won't mean anything to you. I had a Lamborghini basically.
I know, I went in it, the yellow one.
No, black one, many moons ago, 2016. Sorry, I'm gonna have to get out.
Don't get out.
I'm driving.
Oh.
I honestly wouldn't blame me if you just bolted at this point. That's not right.
No, it's not.
So I used to have a Huracan LP 580-2, which means the rear-wheel drive version of a Huracan. Again, that was considered back in the day as the cheaper kind of lesser cousin of the more powerful 610 brake horsepower four-wheel drive LP 610-4 Huracan. However, it was a lighter car, and despite the fact it had less power and it revved slightly lower, it was actually a more engaging car to drive.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
That skidding thing,
Yeah.
where you said that it looks like you have an accident, but you don't. Do you do that?
No.
Promise.
A, I don't know how to, and B, I just don't have the energy for it.
That would give me the ick.
I mean, seeing people do that on public roads is pathetic.
No, that would give me the ick. I'd be like horrified.
Yeah, it's pathetic. It is pathetic. It's cool seeing people do it on a track like twice, and then it gets boring, but and it's useless. It's absolutely useless whether or not a car does that. There is no point in having a car that's good at doing that. If you want a road car, who cares? Who actually cares if it slides? Anyway, as I was saying, I had a Huracan LP 580-2. It was very good. It's a more engaging drive than the standard Huracan. Again, this is a more engaging drive than the Quattro version. Would I say it's a scintillating, totally engaging drive like that of a GT3 RS or a GT3, or a Track Focus Special, or even something like a 570S? Probably not quite as kind of visceral and engaging as that. But as an overall package, I would have this over, and this is controversial, I'd have this over a GT3, I'd have this over a 570S, I'd definitely have it over a 570 GT or a 540C, I'd have it over a 720S. It's just good. You get in it and everything feels great. Nothing creaks, nothing rattles, there's no glitches on any of the tech. Every button you push pushes properly, it makes a satisfying noise. It's just a very, very good, capable car. Depreciation wise on these as well, they don't do that well, but they don't do that badly either. It remains to be seen how these production versions of the rear wheel drive fare. The previous version being a limited run gives a kind of a false sense of how they're going to do long term. But I think this being almost definitely the last naturally aspirated V10 engine that Audi are going to put in their flagship supercar, and one of the only rear-wheel drive models they've ever made in a flagship kind of sports car, well, supercar even, I think it should do very well long term. I love the updated looks, I love the front end. The previous car looked amazing, this looks even better. I just think it's a fantastic car. Would I get it in blue? No. Would you get it in blue?
No.
Would you get it in yellow?
No.
Would you get it in black?
Maybe.
What did you say earlier? What colour you liked?
I want it in white.
With red seats?
No.
Too bougie.
That's a little bit too bougie.
Blue seats?
No.
Just black seats?
Black seats. Can you have tan seats?
Yeah, white with tan, is that a bit you?
Yeah, I'd love that. Love that.
See what you can do.
Can you do it in that like pearly white?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, that'd be so nice, wouldn't
Audi, holler at your boy. Would you crash it if you had one of these?
it? Well, not if I'm not doing any of that skidding.
No, you need to get a licence first, and then we'll talk about the skidding. No skidding. However, I think you could drive this.
I'm a very good driver. I did a week's learning and I was actually very good, and she told me at the end of it that she thought that I would pass.
Okay, well, that's good enough. You can pretty much drive then. Just drive, and if you get pulled over, just say, nah.
I just tell them that story.
Yeah, just tell them that. They'll be like, oh, yeah, no, right you are, carry on. But you would be able to drive this around town. The steering's very light, the cabin's full of light, you can see out every single window very well. You can even see out the back, there's loads of visibility. The mirrors cover pretty much the whole car. The front end, as I say, is very small, so you do feel like you know exactly where the car is.
Covers the whole car.
The mirrors, like you can see, like some cars that you kind of just, you get mostly like body work and you have to just like angle it out. Like the Lamborghini was just useless, you had no idea what was going on behind you.
Yeah.
But it's not that big a car either. I think you'd be okay in this. I really do think this is the supercar for everyone.
Maybe
and not in a
this
bad
is
way.
the one you should teach me to learn to drive in.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, I have to get one first. I mean, I don't think that would work with Audi saying, can I teach my girlfriend to drive in one of your R8s?
Why not?
I think there'd be an insurance issue for a start.
Rude.
Yeah, it is rude actually. It is rude. Not sure who's being rude, but yeah, just rude in general.
Chris' bum is being rude.
That bum is absolutely disgusting. Right, I'm going to end it before.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm going to end it there because I'm sick of poking my head out the window on camera because it's not, 2 or 3 times is funny, but 4 times isn't. So make sure you go and follow Ian. I didn't even say your name.
So rude.
I would have done the Instagram pop up, but make sure I put it up on the screen as well. Make sure you go and follow her on Instagram. If we get it to 100k, then I will give something away.
I will do the whole next video explaining all about the car, and I'll learn all about it so I can explain it all properly.
Okay, get it to 100k and we'll give her our own video on the channel.
Yeah, you're not allowed to be in it. It's just going to be me and Crisps, and I'm not going to drive it.
Honestly, if I can get out of filming another video, then amazing. Please do that.
I will learn all about the car, and I will tell you.
It'll be a different one. It's a different one every time.
No, not this car. Different one.
Okay.
Different one. Car of someone's choice.
Don't introduce too many elements to it, you know.
All right, fine. Shut up.
Okay, go and follow her anyway, and go and say hello on one of her pictures. Don't expect any car content. There might be some content you like on there though.
Bikinis galore.
Just bikinis, just flat laid on the floor.
Just flat laid bikinis.
Yeah, just that.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Any final words?
No. Love you, leave ya. See you later.
Good. It's been good. Thank you very much for watching. Do subscribe. Thumbs up. What do I say next? Blah blah blah. You really don't watch the videos, do you?
No.
Good. That
Just
is actually
like and subscribe.
Like, subscribe, blah blah blah, and I'll see you again soon. And then I do that.
Like, subscribe, blah blah blah, and I'll see you again soon.